Hey guys, this is Sports with Dylan. Bill Belichick, the guy who I was wrong about because I said multiple times he's probably not going to be fired, and if he does get fired, then he's probably just going to slide into a management role or an advisory role with the team. Anyways, he has agreed to mutually part ways with the New England Patriots. So if you don't know, if you're not up to date on the NFL lingo, saying mutually part ways means that they fired the guy, but they really don't want to say that they fired the guy because he did something good for them. So instead, they've decided to mutually part ways because it's completely mutual. So this is not what I was expecting. On the one hand, it was kind of expected. The Patriots sucked this past year. No question about it. 4-13 record, and part of that is because Bill Belichick has not been drafting and has not been signing well. This is a rare occurrence where I can't go and blame the fact that the team was bad on the GM and not the coach. Because, well, Bill Belichick is both. So, he kind of got fired from both roles. And honestly, I would like to think he's more the GM that got fired than the coach. As a coach, he won them 6 Super Bowls. As a GM, obviously, he did do the same. But 6 Super Bowls as a head coach is just ridiculous. You can sign a bunch of players as much as you want, but it's the head coach that truly wins you the Super Bowl. You can have the best roster in the league, but a crappy head coach or even a mediocre head coach isn't going to bring you all the way. You need the best. And Bill Belichick was the best. It's amazing what he did in New England. And honestly, it was a perfect pairing for the longest time, him being the GM as well, because he could handpick his own players, which ones to sign. He was with them there on the field. It seemed perfect. But recently, that has gone downhill. His drafting especially has just not been very good. It's been awful, frankly. Mac Jones seemed like a great draft pick at first, but that just has not turned out. And aside from him, you've got Christian Barmore. That's kind of it. His first-round draft picks, in fact, all his draft picks the next year with Cole Strange in the first round were just ridiculously bad. And then this past year, Christian Gonzalez looked good, but he's still not getting the depth. And also, the signings just have not been great either. Some of them don't work out. Some of them work out just fine. But none of them have been great. None of them have been truly what this team wanted. So, Bill Belichick, as a GM, just couldn't last any longer after the season. And the sad part is, when you have someone who's both the GM and the coach, you can't just demote them and say, oh, no, you're no longer the GM, you're just the coach. Unless Bill Belichick did that himself, then there's no way you could do that. He just quit. He likes being both. He had control over both. So, now, he had to be released from both positions. And now we are left with a lot more questions. First one, that's sort of already been answered, is what do the Patriots do now? A lot of rumors were going about that Mike Vrabel might become the next Patriots coach. I discussed this already, given that he played for the Patriots and everything. It would be a nice story to see. But that's not going to happen. How do I know that? Because the Patriots already hired a new coach. Gerard Mayo, the linebacker drafted for the Patriots in, I have no idea, a while back, and has been a linebackers coach for them for a couple years now, and has always been a well-respected coach in that locker room. He's been interviewed for head coaching jobs with other teams. Became the head coach today of the New England Patriots, succeeding Bill Belichick. Which is definitely not an easy task to succeed Bill Belichick, the greatest coach of all time. But I have faith. Gerard Mayo has been very good. He's not your typical Bill Belichick assistant. Unlike guys like Bill O'Brien, or Josh McDaniels, or Matt Patricia, or Joe Judge. You know the list of all these guys that didn't work out. Jared Mayo is different because he was a player. He knows what he's doing. And I think he's proven himself. Sure, he's never been outside of New England, and sure, he's never been even a play caller before. But I like what he's done. When you watch what DeMeco Ryans has done in his first season in Houston, I think Gerard Mayo can do a very similar thing. So it will be interesting. Now, that could all come back to bite me pretty soon, saying all of that, because it's entirely possible he turns out like the rest of the former Bill Belichick assistants. We'll just have to see. Now, it will be interesting to watch, because Gerard Mayo is now starting new with a brand new rookie quarterback as well. Mac Jones just clearly wasn't the answer, sadly. After starting so well in his rookie season, he just came down so quickly. And Bailey Zappi looked, I would argue, worse in his brief stint. So they will be drafting a quarterback probably at number 3 overall if they can get one. Maybe they'll even trade up with Chicago if they're willing to trade, or whoever. We'll have to see exactly what happens. But I can guarantee you they will have a new starting quarterback coming into the fall. So this means you'll have a rookie head coach and a rookie starting quarterback. And normally this means that you're waiting for a couple years of growth. Not always the case. Did you see the Houston Texans this year, who came from nowhere? Rookie head coach with DeMeco Ryans, rookie starting quarterback with CJ Stroud. Both turned into superstars. But I'm not necessarily sure that will happen with the Patriots. The Patriots are missing some key pieces. Although, going back to my former point, that's exactly what we said about the Texans. And yet, turns out those pieces were right there. They just needed to break out, which they did. So, we'll have to see. Now, the other question is, what is going to happen in the management, in the front office? Because they've now got a head coach, but we still don't have a GM for that team. And there, I would be less inclined to hire someone inside the team. Jared Mayo, like I said, is well respected by the team, but he's a different voice from Bill Belichick, so I think he can help this team as a coach a lot. Although I think Mike Vrabel may have been a better option, but we'll see. But GM Bill Belichick, like I mentioned, has not been a good GM as of recent. So it wouldn't be wise, in my opinion, to promote someone. I would go and find someone new. Someone elsewhere. Someone respected. Someone that can get along with people. Maybe someone that has worked with Bill Belichick in the past, but obviously isn't currently. We'll have to see exactly what happens. But I assume they'll go for someone, maybe a familiar face. Someone that can truly help build this roster with Jared Mayo and the rookie starting quarterback and see where it can take them. A full-on rebuild is in store for the New England Patriots. Now on to the other questions you might have revolving around Bill Belichick. What does he do now? On the one hand, he's 71. So maybe he just wants to retire, which is entirely possible. But on the other hand, there's a lot of rumors that maybe he wants to join another organization. And honestly, that would be weird to watch. But it was the same thing with Tom Brady. It was weird seeing Tom Brady in the Buccaneers. But hey, it clearly worked out. There have been a lot of rumors surrounding Bill Belichick going to the Chargers. Because the Chargers are a talented roster, and all they're lacking, really, I would argue, is a mediocre head coach. Someone who's not Brandon Staley. Please. So, Bill Belichick could very well be the answer to that. That would also be a good opportunity where he could be the GM. But the question is someone going to let him be the GM again? I do not know. There are so many unanswered questions. Even as a coach, maybe the league is tired of him. Maybe his voice just is gone. Not literally, even though that could be possible. He's probably yelled plenty. But his message just has lost the league. He's been a coach in the league for 24 years. A lot has changed in the NFL for 24 years. So maybe it's a different NFL nowadays. And maybe he could get by with it for the Patriots for a long time. But maybe that age has passed. And maybe they're now looking for new, younger guys. But on the other hand, it's Bill Belichick. He is a mastermind of a coach, and I would trust him to help with my roster, but would I trust him as a GM? I'm not sure. Would he want to be just the coach, but not the GM? I'm not sure. There are so many unanswered questions, so we'll have to see exactly what happens to Bill Belichick. It will be interesting to watch, and I have no idea what's going to happen, so I am just as interested as you guys. But for now, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys again soon.